The Alberta election race is still close between the UCP and the NDP, and the leaders' debate could play a factor in swaying undecided voters or motivating conservative voters to stay home. According to the latest polls, the NDP has a slight edge over the UCP, but not enough to form a majority government. The UCP could still retain power with a minority or a slim majority, depending on how the votes are distributed across the 87 constituencies. The leaders of the two main parties, Rachel Notley of the NDP and Danielle Smith of the UCP, faced off in a heated debate on Thursday evening. The debate covered topics such as health care, education, economy, environment, and ethics. Notley attacked Smith for her handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, her cuts to public services, and her ties to controversial figures. Smith defended her record as premier, accused Notley of being too radical and divisive, and promised to restore Alberta's prosperity and reputation. The debate was watched by millions of Albertans who are looking for a clear vision and direction for their province. Notley had an advantage going into the debate, as she had a higher approval rating than Smith. However, Smith was more aggressive and confident in her performance, while Notley seemed more defensive and cautious. The debate did not produce a clear winner or loser, but it may have influenced some voters who were undecided or willing to change their minds. According to Google search trends, Notley saw an increase in her share of searches during the debate, indicating that she generated more interest and curiosity among viewers. However, according to social media sentiment analysis, both leaders received more negative than positive feedback from online users. Smith had a slightly lower net sentiment than Notley, suggesting that she faced more criticism and backlash for her statements and actions. It is likely that Notley made some small gains because of the debate, but not enough to materially change the outcome of the election. Smith still has a loyal base of supporters who are unlikely to switch sides. The final result will depend on voter turnout, which will determine how much enthusiasm and momentum each party has. In 2019, the UCP won with a high turnout of 71%, while in 2015, the NDP won with a lower turnout of 57%. This year, advance polls have seen a high number of voters cast their ballots early, indicating that there is a lot of interest and engagement in this election. The Alberta election is one of the most important and competitive ones in recent history. It will decide the future direction and leadership of the province for the next 4 years. The stakes are high for both parties and their leaders, as well as for all Albertans who care about their province and its place in Canada. The NDP came to power in 2015 in a historic election that ended 44 years of progressive conservative rule in Alberta. But their victory was short-lived, as they faced a united opposition in the UCP was created in 2017 by Jason Kenney, who convinced the members of the Progressive Conservative Party and the Wildrose Party to join forces under a new banner. The UCP ran on a platform of reversing many of the NDP's policies, such as the carbon tax, the minimum wage increase, and the curriculum review. They also promised to create jobs, balance the budget, and stand up for Alberta's interests against the federal government and other provinces. The UCP won a landslide victory in 2019, capturing 63 seats out of 87 and 55% of the popular vote. The NDP was reduced to 24 seats and became the official opposition. The NDP held on to most of their seats in Edmonton, but lost almost all of their support in rural areas and Calgary, where the UCP dominated. The NDP also faced competition from smaller parties, such as the Alberta Party and the Alberta Liberals, who failed to win any seats but took some votes away from them. The NDP's defeat was attributed to several factors, such as the economic downturn caused by low oil prices, the dissatisfaction with the federal government's handling of pipeline projects, and the perception that the NDP was out of touch with Alberta's values and culture. Some analysts also suggested that the NDP failed to communicate their achievements and vision effectively, and that they underestimated the appeal and organization of the UCP. The 2019 election marked only the fifth change of government in Alberta's history, and also the first time that an incumbent government failed to win a second term.